Equality and diversity. What does this mean for your school? Equality of opportunities means taking decisions based on an individual's ability. All decisions in your school should be based on merit. This includes your recruitment decisions, appointments, training opportunities and promotions. Everybody in your school should be treated with respect. Mutual respect amongst colleagues is particularly important to ensure that there is no bullying or harassment in your school. Under the Equality Act, individuals are protected from unlawful discrimination on prohibited grounds. These are age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage or civil partnership status, pregnancy and maternity, religion and belief, sex, sexual orientation, race, colour, nationality and ethnic origins. In order for an individual to pursue a claim for unlawful discrimination, they must show that the treatment afforded to them is because of one of these protected characteristics. Most individuals in your school are afforded protection from unlawful discrimination. This includes employees, agency or temporary workers, and prospective employees such as those applying for a job. Individuals have a right not to be discriminated against, directly, indirectly, by association, or because of a disability. They also have the right not to suffer harassment or victimisation. Direct discrimination. This means treating someone less favourably than you treat or would treat others because of a protected characteristic. For example, a candidate does not get the job as a primary school teacher because he is male. Indirect discrimination. This means putting rules or arrangements in place that apply to everyone, but that puts someone with a protected characteristic at an unfair disadvantage. For example, a rule prohibiting part-time work. It applies to everyone, but more women than men are likely to have childcare responsibilities, which means they can only work part-time. So, unless your school's needs mean you cannot operate with part-time employees, the rule is discriminatory. Association and perception. It is unlawful to discriminate against someone because of their association with another person. For example, treating a carer less favourably because they care for an elderly relative. It is also unlawful to discriminate through perceiving someone to have a protected characteristic. For example, you reject a teacher for promotion because it was wrongly perceived she was gay. Discrimination arising from disability. It is unlawful to treat a disabled person unfavourably because of something connected to or arising from their disability, unless the treatment is a proportionate means of achieving a legitimate aim, or it was not known, and it was reasonable to not have known, that the person had a disability. Harassment. Harassment is unwanted behaviour linked to a protected characteristic that violates someone's dignity or creates an offensive environment for them. The conduct does not necessarily have to relate to a characteristic of the complainant. For example, a white man overhears others telling racist jokes, which he finds offensive. Victimisation. Victimisation is treating someone unfairly because they've complained about discrimination or harassment. For example, threatening to dismiss someone for bringing a grievance of unlawful discrimination. Claims in the Employment Tribunal. A claim for discrimination can be made against the school and any other person the individual believes is responsible for the discrimination. If the claim succeeds, any compensatory award is the joint and several liability of those whom the claims were made against. This means the school and the worker who has subjected the individual to unlawful discrimination are equally responsible for paying the financial award to the individual. What are an employee's remedies? If successful at an employment tribunal, an individual would receive a declaration of unlawful discrimination and compensation for financial losses, which is unlimited, and injury to feelings, as the school can be sued for the discriminatory actions of any of its employees. It's extremely important that everyone, from the senior leadership team to support staff, are trained in equality and diversity. What are the school's defences? There is no defence to direct discrimination. However, the school could justify indirect discrimination if it can show that the discrimination was a proportionate means of achieving a legitimate aim. The school may also be able to show that there is no vicarious liability for the acts of its employees if the school can show that it has taken all reasonably practicable steps to prevent discrimination. So what should the school do about discrimination? Listen to staff who have legitimate concerns. Decide whether to conduct a grievance and/or a disciplinary investigation. Seek a solution, as nobody wants to work in an intimidating or hostile environment. As already mentioned, it is extremely important that you have clear policies in place and train staff on equality and diversity in the workplace. If you need assistance, please contact a member of the HR team at Fusion Business Solutions.